Hello, this is David, and this is my thought for three today. And I'm taking my first bit from Matthew chapter 13, International Version, and it's about the parable of the sower. It says, "That same day Jesus went out of the house and he sat by the lake. Such a large crowd gathered around him that he got into a boat and sat in it. And while all the people stood on the shore, he told them many things in parables, saying, A farmer went out to sow his seed, and as he was scattering the seed, some fell along the path, and the birds came and ate it up. And some fell on rocky places where it didn't have much soil. It sprang up quickly, and because the soil was shallow, when the sun came out, the plants were scorched, and they withered because they had no root. Other seed fell among the thorns, which grew up and choked the plants. And still other seed fell on good soil, where it produced a crop, 100, 60, and 30 times what was sown. Whoever has ears to hear, let him hear." And as one who does a bit of gardening, I am used to growing plants from seed and from, bulbs and all sorts of things. But I like my gardening. And this year has been very difficult for me as I couldn't buy any seed and I didn't have any leftovers from last year. And so I was in a bad place. Well, just down the road for me at St Lawrence Road, someone has set out a seed swap station. And it's so blessed me that I've been able to go down there and have a look through all the plants and bring home packets of seed, parts used and some out of date, but I don't worry, I'll give it a try. And there's even courgettes and other things down there that you can just go and have a look through, bring home and bless yourself. Well, I have now all the seed I need, and I have some left. I have some that I've planted rather, and I've had too many come up, and I've taken a tray of stuff down there and put for other people to be blessed. And I think that we should be this sort of generous people. We shouldn't be just takers, we should be givers as well. Well, I'm going to go on a bit now, and I'm going to read you something else that I've discovered as I've been thinking about this. And it is that God loved a generous giver. And in 2 Corinthians 9, 6 to 15, we read about it. And this is what I read, and it's starting at verse 6 in 2 Corinthians 9. It says, "Remember this, whoever sows sparingly will reap sparingly, and whoever sows generously will reap generously. Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver. And God is able to bless you abundantly, so that in all things and at all times, having all you need, you will abound in every good work, as it is written." And a bit further down it says, "And now he who supplies the seed to the sower and bread for food will also supply and increase your store of seed, and will enlarge your harvest of all your righteousness. You will be enriched in every way, so that you can be generous on every occasion, and through us your generosity will result in thanksgiving to God." Well, I hope that we do all try to be a generous people, because I think that's God's way with us. Actually, we should all be trying to be as generous as we can be. Well, my last thought was, it set me up a little bit of a question really, and as I read it I thought, wow, something a bit warning about this one. And it was that someone else might come along while your seed's growing and plant tares in it. And I thought, what a thing to do. Who would want tares growing up among their plants? And my immediate thought was, I'm going to get rid of those, I'm going to pull them out. But then the Bible said, no, you've got to let them grow together. And I thought, oh dear me, that sounds a bit awful. So I was giving this some thought, And then another thought popped in my mind, and it thought, as we as a church, what happens if we get someone in our midst that we're not so keen on? We think they're a bit of a tear. What should we do about it? Do we just push them out the door and close it? I don't think so, because I think God is the one who has to deal with that. And I think, although I've read this today, I feel that we got to be kind, we got to be loving, we got to be generous. And although we might not like that person in our midst or whatever it is, we don't know whether God has a plan for that person, do we? We don't know whether he might dig around it a bit, he put some fertilizer around it, perhaps change an attitude of heart in that person, and eventually they might be useful to God. So, well, that was my thought. So as you're greeting and leaving and one thing, I hope that you leave everybody who goes out through that door blessed. So that's my thought for today. God bless you all. Bye.